Lord of the Springs 2022. This is my personal favorite race, and I'm about to do my first race recap. So come along, let's check it out. I came into this race feeling great. Last year I finished 17th overall, and that was starting in Wave 2. So I was really excited this year to start in Wave 1. There was a whole lot of fast guys, which was awesome because the faster the guys, the faster the pace, and the more fun the race. So as you can see, the race started off coming out here out of Camp Manitoulin. And here we go. Things didn't really start all that fast. We were cruising out here, going a decent pace, but overall when you're riding in the group, you're not really working very hard. Even as we hit the gravel, the pace kept pretty steady, and the biggest thing is just keeping yourself in a good position so that when things do pick up and when the road gets a little rougher up the Bassett Lake climb, you're kind of ready to go and in a good position. You can see the pace starting to pick up a little bit, climbing Bassett Lake here. We're about to cross over Chief Noonday Road and up the famous 2-track, which is always fun. But honestly, the first part of the 2-track has kind of been redone and is quite easy at this point. But as you can see shortly, we hit some sand and things get a little crazy.
Go.
I was super thankful weaving through here through the sand and kind of running around the people falling. I was able to keep the bike up the whole time, so which is a big deal and is much nicer on your body than having to trudge through the sand. Coming into the first signal track section here, I had made it out pretty good up the Bassett Lake climb, and it appeared like there were maybe 5-6 guys ahead of me at this point. So I was feeling really good. I was excited about the position I was in. You will see pretty shortly that we ended up getting held up a little bit by a guy on the gravel bike, Alex. He did honestly an awesome job. On his gravel bike, it's very difficult through Yankee on drop bars. He did hold us up a bit, but overall, it honestly went pretty smooth. It ended up being a lot of recovery for a lot of us guys, I think, on the mountain bike. You can see there was a few tough spots. I probably got a little close, and I kind of started to yo-yo a little bit and provide some space. You can see several times where I'll kind of catch on the downhill sections and kind of chill out a little bit and let them get some space and catch back up. So yeah, it was honestly, I love the single track section. I love this part of the race. Yankee is kind of what I would kind of call my home course. I really enjoy it here and could honestly feel like I could do it with my eyes closed. So you can see the groups keeping pretty close together as we cruise through.
Exactly. Let's go, Dan. Come on, boy.
It was just so gorgeous out here rolling through Yankee. I was honestly just really enjoying myself. Conditions were probably a little bit dry, but honestly for Yankee, they were really, really good. And it was just great to be able to ride with some pretty fast dudes and just having some fun. Rolling through the entrance of Yankee here, there was honestly not much change in position for much of this time in the single track. There was a few guys that I think got ahead of Alex here. Alex had one teammate that we ended up finding out that had broken off the front. And so you can see us kind of getting held up here in the techie section, a little tougher for Alex. But as we cruised through, Alex actually dropped a change shortly, and we were able to get past him and then out onto Gun Lake Road. Shortly here, we are about to climb out of Yankee and onto Gun Lake Road. And if you're good, you can make it without having to step off your bike. And so I was super pumped to do it again this year and to kind of save some of that energy and then catch some of these guys' wheels as we started to head up Gun Lake Road. I was honestly super thankful. The pace was not crazy going up the climb. And so I was able to kind of stick with the guys and then cruise down the backside at 30 miles an hour plus. So it was pretty awesome, honestly, cruising down. Turning onto Shaw Road here is kind of the second big two-track climb that's super fast to start. You can see us just cruising down. There are some sandy sections, but for the most part, you're able to kind of cruise over it. It was honestly super fun cruising with these guys. And you can see pretty quickly we hit some sandy hills here, which naturally takes it out of you a bit. But again, I was thankful I was able to keep pace, and honestly, it didn't seem like the guys were really working too hard around me, so I kind of just stuck with them and we kept rolling. Coming around the corner here, turning to go east actually on Sager Road, the pace really picked up. The guys started hammering a little bit, and so I was in the back here, and so I kind of did all that I could to keep up with the guys and to keep in the draft, because I did not want to get dropped, especially after working as long as I had already, and I wanted to be able to keep with these guys as long as possible. Turning the corner here to Whitmore Road, we kind of had one more big effort where we were going 20 plus for a little while here, but then honestly the pace chilled out quite a bit, and I found myself feeling like I was on a group ride. We kind of were chatting and riding together, and nobody's really pushing the pace. We kind of were just moseying along like it was a normal Saturday group ride. And so, yeah, to me, this was funny because, well, I haven't been in the lead group like this very often. But as I found out later, I guess this is a fairly normal thing. So here we start approaching one of the big climbs on Head Road. And you can see the guys starting to work a little bit. And so just made sure to keep close and to bridge any gaps that might happen and just to be ready for some big efforts. And so we climbed up, and honestly, it was good. My legs felt great. My body was feeling great. And we stayed together pretty well. You can see here coming on the right, Daniel actually, I think, got a little bit of an itch and decided to make a run for it. And so he kind of comes flying past in his aerodynamic position there. And I remember Alex is in the front here. He kind of looked at us and was like, well, is anybody going to chase him down? And we all just looked at each other, and, well, nobody did. We just cruised right along and kind of let Daniel go. And so I just, stuck with the group. I'm with a group of just really fast guys, and so I'm not about to try to make a big effort to keep up with Daniel. Really fun section even here, cruising down. Much of this section is actually backwards from the Barrier Bay, so it's kind of fun to be able to race it in both directions. And so, it was honestly a blast. I really enjoyed much of this part of the race. My heart rate was fairly low, which, again, I wasn't used to in a race. I was used to it being about as high as can be and working my tail off the whole time. So it was kind of cool to be able to put in some bigger efforts, keep with this group, and chill out a bit and ride. Here we're cruising down, and I just happened to be in the front, and so I actually pulled for a little bit. But to be honest, I really didn't put out very big efforts. I wasn't about to put too much out there. There was too many other guys who have way too much. You can see Alex and the group start to cruise by here as we approach kind of one of the steeper climbs. Right here is actually right where we caught Daniel also. So he had pulled off for quite a while, and then here we kind of grouped up again. And there was probably a group of, maybe just under 20 guys rolling together. But things began to thin out a bit as we got to Sager. Here, some guys had broken off, and so I quickly jumped over these two base media guys and jumped on their wheel and began to bridge the gap a bit. And as you'll see shortly, the rest of the group kind of came with and came right up to Sager. Turning on to Sager Road here, everybody picks it up a little bit. Honestly, Sager going this way is so much fun. The Barrier Bay course takes it the opposite way of this, so going this way is a blast. It's a whole lot of downhill, it's rocky, it's some sand, but honestly overall it's just super fun. And so again, just really enjoying myself through here, cruising along with a bunch of these honestly really awesome riders. Turning off of Sager here now, the pace again kind of chilled out a bit, and we all just kind of grouped up. And honestly, was thinking about the next two-track climb. Here you can see Alex kind of sprints on the outside on the right, and I think it was actually all for the camera. So Rob was up here on the road, and unfortunately, I think I saw him too late. So of course, I didn't get a great picture, but these other guys sure did. approaching Graves Hill climb here. I did just a little effort on the left here. I wanted to get in good position rolling up here as this leads up to the last single track section. So I wanted to be in a good spot. I didn't want to lead into the single track section, as you'll see I did not do, but I wanted to put myself in a place where I wasn't in the back and I had some room to fight for position. Rolling into Yankee here, I had, I think, 8 guys in front of me at this point. So I was super stoked to still be in great position in this race and to be following, again, some guys who are great riders and are honestly really good on the single track. So it's always a joy to follow people who are super skilled and just have that ability to flow through. And so we are approaching this, what is the most difficult climb, I would say, of the race, and especially of the single track. And again, I was feeling great until we reach about this point where we have to dismount. And my left quad started cramping like crazy. What felt okay on the bike at this point started hurting pretty bad. And so now getting off and starting to run up this hill was very painful and awfully just exhausting. And so you can see the guys in a moment kind of ride away a little bit, and then I kind of slowly catch back up as we pedal up a few more steep sections and unfortunately have to dismount a second time. And at that second dismount, you'll see just after is where I got dropped, which was super unfortunate, but at this point there wasn't a whole lot I really could do and much more that my body could handle. Coming. Cruising out of the single track here, this is always a great feeling as there are not a lot of hills left at this point and you're getting to the end of the race. Despite being dropped at this point, rolling down the gravel, you can see I was actually catching up to, which I believe it was Earl right in front of me. And I was not putting out huge efforts, but you can see coming around the corner, he kind of put in a big effort and started pulling away from me a little bit. You can see Dan kind of hook on behind him. And what looked to be so close, with my body feeling the way that it was so far away. And so it was a little bit demoralizing, but yet it was all right. So rolling back here through the finish, I was able to finish 9th overall, which was super awesome. Keegan was the winner today, so congrats to him. He did an awesome job. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, what you thought of my race recap. I obviously probably have a lot of room to improve, but wanted to give it a shot and to see what you guys think.